Yo, what's happening, everybody? How's everybody doing? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Happy People TV Orlando Pirates fan channel. This is your MTN 8 final preview. Orlando Pirates versus Stellenbosch FC. I am your host, KP, and I'm joined by my captain, Mr. Mafelong Nintangana Praga.
Prayaga wa tseba ke dipotsa every day ke a o dumedisa everybody that is up has been with us from the start
up the boxing. Yeah.
It's I don't know. I have no words to say, but all I can say is that it always feels good to come and speak to everybody and have the same conversation. Because we all ask ourselves these questions. I'm standing in for Mr. Coach, where you are, wherever you are, for you too. Sisonke Prayami, the technical genius of the Happy People TV. Yeah, man.
Saturday. Thank you very much, Mr. K. I hope the weather is treating you well, and this new season and the season is treating you well too. So let me go through the format of the show for the 13th of September, 6 p.m. kick-off. Set your watches. Let's synchronize our watches right now. So in this preview, we're going to go through the mood in the camp, some team news, opposition analysis, so we can look at who we have to watch out for from Stellenbosch, and then predicted lineups and the all-important put your money where your mouth is score prediction for this final. Mr. Mafelong, do you know that we are in with a very big chance of making history over here and winning 4 in a row, something that has never ever been done before, not even by the best ever. How much does that how much does that play in your mind just as a fan on some we could be making history here. Is it just another game for you? So, everybody says, hey, I want the league and the Champions League now. So how important is this for Pete? And basically from there, you can go into the mood in the camp right now.
All right, man. Look, what a time to be alive. What a time to experience Pirates. I always say the reason why I love Pirates so much is because it's not a perfect team, and of its imperfections, it still knows how to learn from their mistakes and, bring joy to us who are the people that are actually, behind them and understands, having these channels to talk about them. For me, it's what a time to be alive because I've went through I think what a person would go through with a personal relationship with somebody or friend or whatever. So the relationship with Pirates has taught me how it can be sad sometimes, but the happy days are coming. So we are in the glory days where we know that when we make mistakes now, it's like, don't worry. You remember that, right? So the next time we actually encounter something or a game that is very challenging, we show that we've learned from it. So I'm happy where we are right now as a team. I'm very, I'm positive about how we have come so far. And I mean, the start of the season was a bit shaky, but look at us now. I mean, look at how even Bafana had taken almost quite a number of our players. And that for me just shows that we have shown the country at large. We have proved to Hugo Bruce that, we have the quality players that can, take on leadership in to play for Bafana. At the same time, the mood in the camp, I think I'm very excited right now, man. I can't wait for Saturday. Can't wait to jump and scream. I don't want to be overexcited about it because Papadia Furia Bolom Fetu, it's another for. So we don't know who creates a lang, but I'm Pirates hopeful, and I know we are bound to set a record, and I don't think this one is going to be no team is going to be able to beat this one. So we're going for 4-peat, bro.
Yeah. Also, when it comes to mood in the camp, Vele, I do feel like a lot of them will be positive. I think the fact that there was that accident that happened following the last game, and how we were basically rooting for the safety of everybody. And now that everybody's back, I think they've come back with more of a never say die attitude. And for those who have stayed behind, they can see, Sebele comes and he plays 2 games for Paganea. Next thing you know, he's already in the squad. I also want to show. Oh, I also want to show what I'm made of. While they are busy there playing against Nigeria, let's train hard here, Wangtola. And also, so basically that never say die attitude. I think they're not gonna take this for granted at all. Plus, Lena Ouaddou, even though the players, there's I don't know how many of them, but a bunch of them that have one, two, three, those that could be used to it and could take it for granted. I think, but the one thing is that the experience is there, and also there's enough hungry players that haven't won it before ever that will also be feeding into that hunger. That's how I feel when it comes to the mood in the camp. I think that goes well into team news. In terms of team news, Usbisi is back. And also Tito is also available for selection because we were also worried about the Tito issue. The other thing that I can say is that, I saw the press conference and Ouaddou looks like he is very much, very, very ready for this game, Mfethu. Very ready for this game. So, how do you feel about that team news? And basically, I don't want to, if you wanted to do it the way you wanted to do it, we're just going to come here and start shouting and talk about how much you're going to beat Stellenbosch. But now...
I don't want to do that. I'm not doing it. Last season, in fact, I learned my mistakes. That's what you learn, Pirates, right?
Yeah,
you don't do that again. You don't do that again. Not that I don't believe in them, but I'm not gonna go with that over excitement towards this game to say I know we are a star-studded club, but I don't want to say I know what's going to happen. Leicester City, came in from relegation, took the league. Stellenbosch have lost quite a number of their players, and for them to win with these players that they have now is going to be an overachievement for them. But I don't think that with where our mindset is as a club, where how the boys are feeling, how the boys are playing, I don't think they stand a chance to take it. I don't think if they do,
actually, you speaking of truth, Rona, like it's not even lucky in terms of how dope we are. Unfortunately, it's also lucky for their record this season. And like they're actually 13th on the log after 5 games. They've only won 1 league game, drawn 1. Lost 3, minus 3 in their goal difference, scored 2 goals, conceded 5. Yeah, Fede, I understand that in this specific tournament, they have beaten a club that we even lost to, being Skukune, which means we shouldn't take them for granted. But when we were going into this final last season, remember, they were coming back from what? From beating Sundowns in 2 legs. And then we were starting to question Mangoba. That was his first strike. And after that, they came in. We got into that final and we didn't have that much of a record. And Honano, if you look now, we just beat them in the league. So, I'm fair to taking teams for granted and not taking them for granted. This one is ours for the taking, I'm fair to. This one is ours for the taking. This is our story to let go of. This is our game to lose, dog. At the end of the day, Mr. Mafello.
I think if we look at records and what I don't want to mention other clubs have done, there are, and Mamelodi Sundowns for the longest period of time has dominated the league. Yeah. And that's what we're fighting for, to crush that. We can't have one team win so many times consecutively. I mean, that's a record. Even if we are to win a league this season, next season we won't win it, next season we win, and we get to the number of trophies they were able to accumulate in 8 consecutive years, man, it's not going to be the same because they did it year after year. So this cup for us is a cup, or a trophy rather, that I feel we own. And I don't think any other club is going to be able to take this record away. And I think it's only...
Let alone Stellenbosch on their knees.
It's only also fair to say, we would have just let it go. It's ours, bro. Na ba tsena go ntlong fetse bo nkela dieta tsa hao ka mo old tropong. Brian.
Ah,
Come on, bro. Nah, it's ours.
yeah, so let's see. Let's give them a chance. Let's look at the players that we've identified as the players that could be danger men for them and people who could cause us an issue in this segment of the preview where we do a opposition analysis. So let's start with the most obvious name. You know who it is. It's Devin Titus. How do you feel about his threat to us in this game, Mr. Mafelo?
Look, man, for me, he doesn't possess so much of a threat. Yes, he is still also trying to own the position as it was previously owned. Reynolds, before he went to Sundowns, he was the target man for Stellenbosch to make sure that it gets the goals. It manages to become a threat to the opposition's defense and all of that. With Devin Titus, I feel like he's getting there. What I like about him as a player specifically is that he's got discipline. He takes instruction, But what happens when the instruction doesn't work? Is he a player that I am going to be afraid of to say, hey, he can think for himself?
Oh, so you're saying he doesn't have enough of an X factor to scare you that much?
No. For me, look at the wrong point type of player, and I think TLB was looking for him.
Okay, don't you think? Because we have kind of a headache there at fullback. In terms of who we're going to choose to actually play fullback, and so basically, if we're looking at him as a possible threat, what advice would you give to the fullbacks in terms of dealing with him?
In terms of Devin Titus,
yeah.
So, bro, I mean, listen, TLP was able to shut down Romero from. Sundown, but boy, I have about Raiders. I'm quiet.
Yeah.
Like, but Devin Titus is fitting.
I'm okay. Sharp. Away. I get you there. Okay, cool. Obviously he's their experienced player, and I just think he's just one of those that we just need to make sure we're alive there in the fullback positions. But we're just saying that we're not going in blind. Not to say that we should be now super afraid. So the next player that I've gone into striker sawana chase number 10, Mbombela. How do you feel about his threats? Now that is a person that I'll give straight to TLP. That's the person, yeah.
And that's the only person with the X factor.
Okay.
Oh, no,
okay.
Actually, I'm actually lying. They have another player by the name of Tato Kiba, who I don't think they've had enough time to play together to understand each other, to come into a game like this and perform and have that X factor towards us. Okay. They both possess individual brilliance, which for me is something that can be manageable. If you can stop him from thinking, then he's got other players that he's not really that he won't know what to do. And once you can get the player to not have options to do in a match, then you've basically shut him out, So I'll say it's the number Tato Kiba. It's actually quite good because he comes off as a player that was doing very well at TS Galaxy. And I always put it like this. I don't doubt Steve Barker's abilities to choose who he wants to buy, and I think he saw something special in him. But they have not had enough time to be together to beat us.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he has been trying to make a name for himself, Vela in the team, and I feel like as soon as it came through, I think he's been here since last season, or I can be corrected on that one, but he has become one of those important players. His stats don't look too good so far, but obviously the game is not played on paper; it is played on the pitch. So, with that said, I agree that he could be one of those that we need to look out for. Another one that I feel like could be a danger just off the bench. He doesn't start many games in terms of always starting. He does have some appearances. He's only started one game in the league so far, but he has 2 goals in the league, and he has, if I'm not mistaken, 1 goal in the MTN 8. That's Pili Langelihle, and he's one player at least that you can feel like, okay, this is Stellenbosch cooking again, because they're famous for unearthing these unknown talents. Not to say, hore, I have the history, but he is only 20 years old, so it still is a young talent. He's one that I feel like when we feel like we're comfortable in the game, he's one of those people that can come into if you have that one goal lead, he's one of those that might be one of those that you're afraid of when it comes to equalizing. So you were saying?
Correct. So Stellenbosch, one thing I know that that game approach that they might have against us, and they know that we lack in that specific we lack in positioning ourselves correctly, are set pieces and corner kicks. So we must avoid giving them corner kicks, because they enjoy high balls. They enjoy balls that are coming from the air more than them playing with their feet. So in the air, they really are quite good, and they know that if once they can actually get 1 or 2 goals from set pieces or a corner, they are just going to park the bus, because that's nothing. So that's the one thing that I feel us as Orlando Pirates, we should avoid them being able to have such chances in the match. And if we can, minimize the corner kicks, minimize causing unnecessary fouls, we've got them. That's one thing that I know they are probably practicing, and they're just perfecting it for us.
Yeah, and I feel like luckily it's not them that's going to expose that we have that issue. Meaning what? Meaning it's one of the things that we practice anyway. It's not something special. We know we have that issue, and in terms of dealing with that, I don't know if they're a team that you can say that they are special with the Real playing the way they are right now, ne? So, Mfethu, I think there's a good segue for us to get into the predicted lineup. Mfethu, ke tshwara lineup ya hao ke bona o setile squad, setile. I want to say, let me see, let me hear what this lineup of yours is all about.
On obviously the goalkeepers. None than the next. I think in the World Cup is going to be the number 1. I'm just waiting for Ronan Williams to make one mistake. Steeple Chain,
of course,
ever present. Yes, he makes his mistakes, but he's a leader. I love Steeple Chain. He does his job. He knows how to organize his defense. On my left in Fetu, I'm going for my wing backs. I'm going getting wing backs, right? I'm going for Hoto for speed. I'm going with Libito. Libito hasn't gotten much game time, but he came in previously, and after a long time of not even experiencing him play, but he came in and he was always there type of thing, very fast, good with, crosses. He can shoot. The only thing that I might just be just a tad afraid of is him forgetting to come back, because, sometimes go Pirates Nato attack, Brian. So he must just always remember that, track back. But my wing backs, Choto, he's got one of the last touch, the high, they always just get to me on some dude. You did everything perfect. 2 players gone. You just have to either make the right decision. Are you going to pass
the final ball, yes, sir.
But in the middle, I would not change anything, even though we do have CBC back. Olisanda also, he's been fully fit. I wouldn't want him to come into such a big match when the players have worked so hard to gain their confidence to, hold that position. I'm talking about the likes of TLB and Lebone, Siema. Oh, my man, have you seen those?
Of course.
Oh, God.
Champagne defending. Champagne defense, mfethu. You baba.
So going into those two, I would love them to carry on from where and how they are communicating with each other. They're doing an excellent job. Yes, it's just minor mistakes here and then. It's just positioning at the end of the day and communication. You know, if you communicate, things are much easier because you know what the player that is you're playing alongside with is expecting from you, and he knows what he's you expecting from him. So now my lineup is 4-2-3-1. I've always liked that, even so you know. In the middle of the park, I couldn't start him, man. It was just too hard. I was just too hard. I love him, but it was just too hard. The reason why
selection headache.
I'm gonna need Ndudi just to do the right thing.
Okay. Yeah.
He comes from Stellenbosch. He knows the players. He will be able to talk to our players and be able to tell them, look out for. So I'm keeping Nduli there, and for him to have that problem. He might have an Apollos moment where he's versing his team and he might score. That would be that would be wonderful for him. I'm putting him alongside Mbule because I've realized Mbule doesn't really like going forward, but he likes being just behind the 10. Tito Wile Braya, Karemo, plan after plan.
Ambulance,
Braya. And then on my left, I can't give Presidente. I can't, as much as I know that he's a special player for such games to come in the second half and probably do something that's going to be a showstopper.
Yeah.
I'd love him to start because I wanted to see him go Bafana, and he didn't get that opportunity. And I feel like we owe him that chance to show us Rocky Presidente. So I could come on or on Fetu Jamkaya. Fetu call go writing out.
Yeah, Baba. Pace and passion. Baba.
It's going to be
yeah.
When I look into Tanega, Kemia, Sataya Bafana, and Sarakio, it's very I have popular really. The man is he possesses individual brilliance. I thought he was gonna come in and would have to nurture him to manage his position. But I mean, he already came in and he manages two positions. Right back, right wing. So, and he's nice on the ball. He's far. He's quick. He tracks back. He's disciplined. He reminds me of a Hoto. Just
100%. It's that engine. It's that engine, bro.
Same work ethic. Runs 90 minutes, and that's a player that you can never just leave behind. And up front, it's the one and only.
Mr. Mafellong, very understandable with your lineup, dog. Ibile, mine is actually very much similar. I think I just put on the wrong name there. Here's mine. Mine is actually pretty similar to yours, like I just said. Now the only difference, right, is that in midfield I went for Amatalent Awafan. At right back, I went for Bandile Shandu, but I feel like there's not much to even discuss between you and I. It's the same formation, it's the same team. We know if Mbata doesn't start, Mbuli is going to start. If Mbuli doesn't start, Mbata is going to start. If Mbuli starts, Mbata is going to replace him. If Mbata starts, Mbuli is going to replace him. Okay, that's in central midfield. And actually, I'm just remembering now. I actually put Mbule at CAM because of Tito coming back from injury, and I feel like okay, Yazin, when the league started, when we started playing with Mbule, I said to myself, Yazin, this man is better for starting the game and not coming on as a impact sub in the second half, but he's been doing other things from the bench. But I think when it comes to impact, it's a double-edged sword. Tito hasn't been playing because he's been injured. Mbule just put in a big shift le Bafana Bafana just now. So Ana Oling fully fit. Obviously I don't know the extent of Tito's injury, so I don't know if he came back as 100% or if he came back as an 85%. But I was like, Yazin, let's take the momentum from Bafana Bafana. Let's put Mbule there. In the first half, Fede. Mbata, Nduli in the middle. They will do the running. Obviously, the president on the right. And then up front, Ngwana says, it's a span. Ana instruction, man. Ana instruction. How can you tell Makopa way to play, how to play? You just put him on and he will do what he's good at and he will do it. When at Tamelo he recognize a fan. Have you ever seen dog? Mabasa is the better goal scorer. But Mabasa, you can see when he's doing his thing and you can see when he's been given a certain instruction. And you can see when he's trying something. Makopa never looks like he's trying anything. He just looks like he's doing what he's doing. When I say so, I was time. How fagile wakava kibatang?
How to pack the pass?
Baba. Petso ka se mpone ke mo fa di final ball tsa di cross hore are trap and shoot. Hai. Le na tla ba makitsi. Anyway. Let's not talk too much about Makopa, but I love the fact that he never claimed to be a goal scorer, never claimed to be a traditional number 9. He's always been who he is. It's either you play him or you don't. Okay. No long balls.
One thing I like about Makopa, not to overpraise him, because people have different opinions of the type of striker they would want to have approach such a game. So one thing I like about Evidence is that he's a person who puts in a shift. It's a thing we have to find a different way, because now he's not probably coming up with a different. He's not a person who has a lot of plans going forward. He's giving that role to stay in the front. But he is a player that enjoys playing with the whole team, and for that, I like a player who comes to the team and fights for the badge. And for me, he's playing for the badge more than anything. He's not the best of the strikers, but he will put in shit, and if he scores, he did it because he was working hard. So I like Mahopa to start just to give him that. I mean, look at the likes of the Lyle Foster against Nigeria. Mahopa for me is a typical striker that would do a similar job that Lyle Foster did. So I'll give him the start.
100%, Mr. Mafelung. Now it is time for you to put your money where your mouth is, and I know that you actually do look at the odds and you do make decisions with your pocket. Let's make this decision with your pocket, Mr. Mafelung. Score prediction for this final. Are we going to end it in 90 minutes? Are we going to end it after extra time, Penele? How's it going to go? What's your score prediction?
All right. I just need to make a small statement before I just, go into my prediction. Is that teams, when they come against Pirates, they change. The other teams, you'll notice their weaknesses, but when they appear against us, you're like, but you weren't running like this.
What happened to your weaknesses now?
Like this now?
Oh, yeah.
No. And you're like, how? When did you change? So I don't want to come in to say Stellenbosch, but 75 minutes, the game will be over.
3-1.
3-1.
All right, Mr. Mapello.
It's a mistake here. Consolation or finally.
Come back from Mbombela with something. There's a long trip back home, Pella. They can't come back empty-handed. You know what, bro? That would be a repeat of last season's score. Now, was it 3-0 or 3-1? I think it was 3-1. It was 3-1.
3-1.
Yeah, 3-1. So you're going for a repeat. I'm going for 2-1, by the way. Yeah. I'm going for 2-1. I think, obviously, it's not going to be easy. Ouaddou is not the kind that is going to go all out on Tola. So I think we're going to have a very measured, very clean, very quality-driven, quality-assured 2-1 win.
2-1. Man, let's look at the camp and where the players are at mentally.
Don't fight my prediction. Don't fight my prediction. Oh,
it's going to be a goal. We're going to have a final that contains a lot of goals, actually. You know, I just think more from us because of the level of confidence the players currently. I mean, look at MasterChef being given a chance, and Tito, at last minute, he was called up to the squad. He came in, go squatting, and I was like, MasterChef. But then I came in, you're like this. How unfair to you. So I feel like for him, he is coming. There's less talks about the negative things that would bring him down to try and prove himself to the fans to say, you know what, guys, I'm afraid to. I'm human to make mistakes. And those negative things have been squashed. Now he's cooking. And that the love that he's getting is making him even become the player that he actually is. I mean, I like the fact that he lost weight, man. Did you see that?
He's looking leaner. More like a machine.
When he came in, he was a bit chubby, dog.
Hey, man.
But he came in now.
Does that mean we're not going to win 2-1? Okay, guys, get into the comment section, please. Let's hear what your predictions are. Obviously, I'm expecting everybody to predict the Pirates win. Rowena Katseka, how many will we gift them, and how many will they go home with? Will it be 0? Will it be 1? Will it be 2? Please hand in your predictions. Put your money where your mouth is. We'll be looking, we'll be watching. 13 September, 6 p.m. kickoff, Mbombela Stadium. Orlando Pirates going for the 4th in a row against Stellenbosch FC. How is it going to go? And who do you think? Let's hear. Who do you think is going to score? Who's going to make an impact? Let's see your predicted lineups. Also, one of the selection. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Happy People TV, Orlando Pirates fan channel match preview for the final against Stellenbosch. Danko!